Hello to my beautiful people of the Famleegue. Beautiful people of the Famleague. What are you doing here? Can you tell us what week we're on? We're on week 5. Alright, celebrity guest appearance. Hansel. Alright, week 5. Week 5. Um, Probably the best week in the Family so far. A lot of close matchups. A lot of it came down to either Sunday's game or Monday's game. Um, I don't even know who to start with. Like they were all just so good. I think Ryan has earned this. Ryan has definitely earned this. We're gonna start off with Ryan. Ryan does indeed pull the upset on Kendra, giving her her first loss of the season. Kendra, you're no longer perfect, but neither are we. So you're off your cloud nine, but you're still in first place. So that's good. Ryan wins 148 to 109. Leonard Fournette had 35.9 points. Ryan had 5 players with 16 plus points. Ryan has a 3-game winning streak. He is the hottest fantasy team in the league. No one else has a 3-game winning streak. Ryan's hot. You don't want to face Ryan right now. Ryan was projected to win by 6 points. So I guess could have seen it coming, but this was actually the largest margin of victory, I do believe. Actually, no, it was not. It was almost the largest margin. But that'll be a perfect segue into our largest margin victory, which was just Joshua over Turd Ferguson. Just Joshua picking up his second win of the season. He wins 135 to 80. It was projected for Turd Ferguson, Randy, to win 124 to 112. A good thing for Josh was let him cook. Usually they say like let Russ cook, but in this case it's let Dalvin cook. He had 26 points. Russ did, but 7 out of Josh's 10 players were in double digits. For Turd Ferguson, it was indeed Geno time, but unfortunately it was not time for anyone else on this team. So that is tough, but hopefully everyone will get on the same timing for you next week, Randy. Next, we will go with. Let's go with Trey and Molly. Trey, 143 to 117. It was projected 136 to 129, so a little bit closer. Josh Jacobs, man, had a career high 144 rushing yards last week. He has another career high this week, something over 150. Michael Carter. I know you're kind of sweating on starting him in the flex. I've had him on several of my teams in the bench, just riding the bench. Hasn't really done anything. Of course, he gets you 17 points. You just know it's going your way. When you start some guy that you're like, all right, this guy's due. And then he shows why he's due. So, great job on starting Michael Carter. Very gutsy, but it paid off. Also, this matchup had some potential to, be sort of close. Molly had Travis Kelce, and Trey had Josh Jacobs, and they were actually the highest fantasy scores other than Mahomes on Monday night. So I mean, if Jacobs only had like 10 points and Kelce had maybe like 50 more yards, could have been a little bit of a closer score. So it was interesting to watch that. Another very interesting matchup. Two actually that were for Monday night was Jay and Jesse. Show me your TDs versus me and my homies. That's a pretty good little combo, isn't it? Jesse ends up winning 150 to 127. Now it doesn't sound close, but prior to Monday night's game, it was 103.8 Jesse to 100.28 Jay. So me and my homies got his homies together with Mahomes and Daniel Carlson, who is, I think he's made 38 straight according to the broadcast on Monday night. So He's on kind of like a Justin Tucker level. This isn't a Justin Tucker jersey, um, but yeah, Mahomes and Carlson, they combined to get 50 points for Jesse. Unfortunately, Jay had Devontae Adams and Darren Waller. Devontae Adams had a great game, scored a lot of points for him. But Darren Waller got hurt early in the game, and he was out the rest of the game. And that also sucks for this is the second time it's happened to Johnny this week. He also had Naheem Hines, who got hurt in the very first play in the Broncos and Colts game from Thursday night, which that is a tough blow for Show Me Your TDs. That is a tough blow. Me and my homies, Jesse, incredible week for you, man. You got 150 points, which was the most out of anyone in the league this week. 8 out of his 10 starters were in double figures, which was the most by any qualifiers for this week. So, great job, Jesse. I know you've been waiting for a big game like this, and yes, sir, you finally got it. Another close matchup that depended on Monday night's game was it's Miller time and the Scranton Stranglers. Now, the Scranton Stranglers, unfortunately, they were not doing the ones strangling. They were kind of strangling themselves. Clyde Edwards-Helaire only needed 8.12 points, and unfortunately, he only got 6.5. So Kelsey ends up beating Tanner 86.78 to 85.16. Man, I could not believe it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire last week had went off, and he's been doing pretty great this season. And then, unfortunately, he only got 6.5. That is tough. There was one, I was watching the game, I was texting Kelsey because I was at work, and I said, oh no, Edwards-Helaire just scored. And she's like, oh, dang it. And then they reviewed the play, and I guess he wasn't in the end zone or something, and they brought it back, and then Kelsey ended up scoring. Not my Kelsey, but Travis Kelsey. So, yeah, that's tough. Tough loss for Tanner. He's kind of been getting himself strangled, so maybe he can, turn it back to strangling others, So, yeah. Looks like we just have one more matchup. And I don't want to be selfish, but this is obviously the matchup of the week. I don't know if y'all have checked the scoreboard. I'm sure y'all have, but this is why I do the recaps, just to, keep y'all involved, and it's fun, and just to, so everyone sees, what's going on. But me and Bryce face against each other. The 2 seed versus the 9 seed. And he was projected to win 145 to 119. And somehow I win by 0.3 of a point. 144.46 to 144.16. And this all was for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was our last player left for each side on Sunday night. And he needed, I think, like 14 points or something like that. And he ended up getting like 14.9 or something. Like, he just did give me enough. Just did give me enough to give me the win. I actually fell asleep during the game, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, I might as well check to see if I'm fine. And I had to double take, triple take. I had to make sure, and I had to make sure that he didn't have anyone playing. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. So you can't get closer to that, but wow. We might not ever see another matchup this close in the season. So, tough loss for Bryce. Hurt so bad for him. Hurt so good for me. But I needed a win, so it's good. Also, he could change his name to Brees Reinhardt. Brees Hall, 27 points. And also we got some cheers and we got some jeers. Unfortunately, he had Nick Folk on the bench. Kicker for the Patriots, he had 18 points. So that is tough. Started the wrong kicker. Wow. What a week it was in week 5. Here's a little bit of the updated standings here. 3-way tie for first. Technically, Trey is in first because he scored more points than Kelsey or Kendra. Looks like it's followed by Bryce, Tanner, and Ryan. Now, Ryan has scored more points than Tanner. However, um, Tanner beat Ryan earlier in the season. So he has that head-to-head matchup, which I do want to poll y'all, and I'll put in like a poll on the Facebook group, or I'll just poll y'all. My tiebreaker is not by most points scored, it's by head-to-head matchup. So like in this case, like Tanner is ahead of Ryan because he beat Ryan. But Ryan would be ahead of Tanner if I didn't have that head-to-head tiebreaker in there. So if y'all want the head-to-head tiebreaker, or do y'all want the points scored more? Whichever one y'all want, just let me know. I'll send out a poll. Probably a little bit easier that way. Anyway, so Bryce, Tanner, Ryan are all tied for fourth at 3 and 2. The 2 and 3s are me, Josh, and Jesse. And the 1 and 4s are Johnny, Molly, and then Randy. So they are all tied for 10th. The scoring leaders is scoring miss leaders. So if you look over here, you got Show Me Your TDs at 4th and Brady Bunch at 5th. They're in the lower tier. They're tied for 10th at 1 and 4, but they're 4 and 5 in most points scored. And then it's Miller time, and the Scranton Stranglers are 10th and 11th in scoring. It's Miller time's 4 and 1, Scranton Stranglers 3 and 2. Scoring leaders, scoring miss leaders. It's very interesting. It's also a differential between these teams of about 80 points. So it just seems like that the Brady Bunch and Show Me Your TDs have just been having some bad luck. And it's Miller time. The Scranton Stranglers just been winning against teams that just had bad weeks. Is what it looks like. I'm not taking away from any credit or anything, but just don't think seeing 1 and 4, Jay or Molly think it's a cakewalk. So just keep that in mind. Some other notes from week 5. Fournette and Eckler had the highest points at 35.9. Nine fantasy players scored over 30 points. Very offensively driven week, which we love to see in fantasy football. Love to see. Taysom Hill had 34.08 points as a tight end, but he is basically a utility player. He runs the ball. He was initially a quarterback, so that kind of came out of nowhere. But with Jameis Winston out and Andy Dalton at quarterback, then Taysom Hill's kind of been getting some leverage. But it may have just been for that one game. I'm terrible picking tight ends. I won Taysom Hill on the waiver claim. I have not had a good tight end at all this year. It's like I pick a new one up every week. So hopefully I can ride on Taysom for at least one game. I don't know. Probably not. He'll probably get 0 points or 1.7 like my guy last week. Also, we need to discuss. I put out in the message earlier as well. It's bye weeks start this week. So it's going to get very interesting as the season goes on with these bye weeks. Now we're going to have to start starting our scrubs that are on the bench because our star running back is out. And then, our scrub running back has been riding our bench. He's all we got. Unless you want to pick up someone from the, either the waiver wire or the free agency. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I love this. And with the 12-man league, it is so tough. And 2 more teams just adds so much more competition. So it's going to be kind of fun to start our scrubs. And who knows, they might end up going off, and it might work out for that 1 week. So that's why this is like the level, the intensity has been turned up now. So this will be really fun. We'll see what teams are really made of. And also, we have 10 games left. Our playoffs are week 16, week 17, and week 18's championship. So, if you're bummed about your 1 and 4 or 2 and 3 start, we have 10 more games left. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. Our 2 teams that were in the championship last year are both 1 and 4. Don't sleep on them. They could rise to the top. I mean, 10 games left. It's still a long season ahead. So don't freak out. I think that's it for all my notes. Oh, I forgot to mention, we did have a trade. We had a trade between a husband and wife. Me and my homies. And the Brady Bunch made a trade before week 5 started. Mahomes trades, I forgot his name, Connor from, how did I forget? James Connor from the Cardinals, and DK Metcalf from the Seahawks to Brady Bunch for Keenan Allen and Jonathan Taylor. So I do like that trade pretty well. I feel it's a very fair trade. Husband and wife make the trade there, so pretty cool to see. And I forgot to write down the projections for this next week, so I will do that real quick. So I'm recording this. It's Wednesday right now, like midday. It's currently 11:12 a.m. So I feel like these projections might fluctuate. There's a couple teams that still need to fill in for one of their players on buys. So I just kind of did like a rough estimate of how much projected points they would have picking up a replacement. We're going to start off with the number 1 team, Trey versus Kelsey. So Team Hill versus it's Miller time. The 1 versus the 3, both 4 and 1. So this is really a fight for first place. Team Hill is projected 121.9 to 115.3. I kind of am going to have to declare this matchup of the week just because it's a battle of first place. So kind of easy. Second place team is Team Horned Up, Kendra, against me and my homies, Jesse. Jesse, you need to go pick up a kicker. But I put in, I think your projections right now 117, but projection for kicker is probably about 7 points. So you're projected to win 124 to 109.8. Our fourth place team, Heard So Good, Bryce against Amendola Oblongata, Ryan, both 3 and 2, so good 3 and 2s matchup there. Bryce is projected to win 145.4 to 119. Now Ryan did the same thing for you. Looks like TJ Hawkinson has a bye week, so I put in a projected points of about maybe 6 points. So go pick up a tight end. Next we have our 5th ranked team, Tanner, the Scranton Stranglers against Johnny, 10th ranked. Show me your TDs. And Show me your TDs is projected to win 119.9 to 112. Next you have the 7th and 8th seed, which is me, Samuel L. Lamar Jackson, against just Joshnia, both 2 and 3 matchup. Josh is projected to win 115.6 to 113.7. And then lastly, we have a battle for first, and we have a battle for last. We have the Brady Bunch versus Turd Ferguson, which is, screw it, I'm going to make this the matchup of the week because this is our former championship from last year. So will Molly get some redemption here? We'll see. Battle for first place. So they went from the Super Bowl to the Toilet Bowl for now. Toilet Bowl for now. Molly's projected to win 127.1 to 114. Randy, I think you need to go pick up another punter, which I put in, I think about 4 or 5 points added to your projection because that's about what punter is probably going to get you for projection wise. So go pick you up a punter. And that's about it, guys. Just under 20 minutes. Whoop, whoop. Good luck.